So the other day, my smart TV decided to stop working correctly. It was on. I stepped outside for a few minutes, came back in, it was off. I thought maybe it had updated or something. Tried to turn it back on, go through the loading screen, go through the little pre-setup, and then it would turn itself right back off. Did that a few times. Eventually, probably about the fifth or sixth time, it let me load completely into my home screen. Was on for a few minutes and then off again. Did that for a while. Tried unplugging it, tried changing the surge protector, tried plugging directly into the wall, and same thing. So contacted the manufacturer, and they said, well, you're out of warranty. And I'm like, I just bought this TV like a year and a half ago, 2 years. And they're like, yeah, we only do 1 year warranties these days. And I'm like, wait a second. So I looked through my paperwork. I had a extended warranty through Best Buy. But it also expired within the 2 years because they start the day you buy it and not extend the one you currently have. I'm not sure how that worked, but yeah. So if you pay for an extended warranty, you may not be getting an extended warranty. So basically, the manufacturer said they can send out somebody to repair it. They said some ridiculous price, and I'm like, I'm looking on Amazon right now, and I could buy a brand new one for less than half of what you're quoting me to repair this one for. So a little Googling, I found out that there's the possibility that the common thing is these capacitors have a tendency to pop. So I've got the TV here. I just took out all the screws. I'm going to pop this back cover off and see what we have. Alright, so with a little fiddling, you can pop the back cover off. Basically what we're looking at are these different capacitors. From what I saw in the video, they should be flat across the top. These two are flat, and those two are not. I don't know if I can get down here low enough and see it. Yeah, you can see those are crowned. So supposedly those are bad. So what I'm going to do is get the information off the side of them and order up a couple. Apparently it's a very easy soldering job, even for complete noobs. So I'm not very good at soldering. I prefer to avoid it if possible. But if I can repair this TV for, $20, it saves me $300. So we'll see. So next thing I'm gonna do is get those part numbers. I don't know where they're exactly at, but we'll figure this out real quick. All right, so what I'm seeing here is A10 3WE, and there should be a voltage on there somewhere. Let's see. Might be a part number. All right, so I'm gonna look this up, see what I can find. All right, so going around it a few times, it looks like it's a 10 UF 350 volt. Looked around, I really couldn't find a whole bunch of these at 350. I found some that have, say, the 400 volt have replaced it. I can buy a pack of 10 for like $10 or something like that. I have them here tomorrow, so I'll try the 400s. I mean, the TV doesn't work now, so it doesn't matter if I blow it up. So this will be a test. All right, so the next step, since I ordered those parts and they're going to be here today, is we need to remove this board out of here. So This cable, this one, these other three, this one here and one there. And then it's, I think 5 or 6 Phillips head screws, and the board comes out, and then we will be ready for when the parts arrive. And one important thing, you should make sure that you discharge the TV the best you can. So unplug it, let it sit for a while, and then hold the power button down here for a good 30 seconds. That should discharge the board so that if you touch it, you don't accidentally short something out. So now I'm going to pop these cables out of here real quick. Alright, so these 3 cables, this one down here on the end, and these 2 bigger ones, have those little flip up cable hold downs. Be very gentle with those. You can have one go flying, and they're just about impossible to put back together. So the rest of these are just little pinch. Compress those down a little bit and they slide right out. So power cable's out, the upper one's out. So next thing, screws out. Okay, so 5 Phillips head screws is what it took. I'll just set them right there, and it should just lift straight up. Perfect, it does. All right, so now I'm gonna take this over to my work area there and wait for the parts. Now Amazon was supposed to have that stuff out here this morning, and now they're telling me almost 9 o'clock tonight, so just waiting around for parts. Okay, so those are the 2 we're working on. The important thing here is to make sure that you put them back in the correct orientation. There's a white line, whitish green line, I guess is what you call that. So you want to make sure that on the new ones it's going in the same direction. And then you also want to make sure that you don't actually desolder one of these other pieces, so make sure that the 2 that you're checking on the back side line up, and it should be these 2 sets right there and there. So again, now we wait and give myself some working space, get my hand up underneath here. I just got me a small cardboard box so that's back away from where I'm working. This will give me access to these, so as I'm heating them up, I can actually hold on to the capacitor until they pop out. Should be easy, don't have to buy a tool, tons of cardboard boxes. All right, so my capacitors came in again. I could not find any of the, let's see if I can get that to zoom. There it goes. 10 UF 350 volts. Every place had these as superseding those. I did find some 350s, but they wanted like $20 a piece for them, and I got a whole bag for 9. So if it burns up, it burns up. I mean, it was already dead, and I've already replaced the TV. So this, if I fix it, great. If not, it goes off to the recycler anyway. So I thought I would give this a shot just to see if we could bring this TV back to life. So there's my 2 capacitors. There is the gold, the stripe that we're going to be using as our reference, and that will go down once we get those out. So next thing we're going to do is try to get those out as easy as possible. All right, I'm letting this soldering iron heat up for a few minutes. So let's see if we've got it hot enough. Not quite. Oh, almost. Just a second here. Alright, let's try this again. I had to step away for a second. My wife needed my help, so. Alright, well, apparently my phone turned off while I was recording, but I got the old ones out. And that's one, and that's two. And comparing these to this one, it is a little bit different size, but not by much. So next thing I got to do is clean out these holes. I had to change tips on my soldering iron so I could get down inside there. So as soon as it warms back up, then I can feed these new ones in. And so just like this had the white stripe, this has a gold stripe, and it faces down the motherboard. You see this arrow here? It goes in that direction. So white stripe will go, or yellow stripe will go towards the arrow. So once, like I said, once this warms up, I can get back in there. Alright, so I got the new capacitors in and set in the right direction. I have this cardboard box underneath here, and the weight of the motherboard here is pushing the capacitors up against the board on the other side, and they're nice and tight. So now I just have to get some solder in here, and then we're going to clip those off. Okay. See if I can do this. Alright, so they're on there. They're not pretty, but they're on there. And gonna let them cool off for a second. Then I'm gonna drop the board back in the TV frame and see if it powers up. Alright, so I got the board all plugged in. Everything's back together. I'm going to plug it into the wall here, and I'm going to leave the back off and see what happens. Alright, so I just plugged it into the wall right there. The red light has come on like it's supposed to. I'm going to go ahead and power it on. Okay, red light's blinking like it's supposed to. Nothing seems to be smoking. I'll give it a few minutes or seconds, however long it takes. Red light's still blinking. I'm gonna stand this up. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Let's see. There it goes. Well, it seems to be working. It's loading slowly. It says no Wi-Fi access. Probably because I had this TV plugged into a hard line, so. Well, this is farther than it's made it in the past, because it would just get to halfway loading and then turn itself right back off. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the back on and put the feed on it and turn it on and let it run for a while and see what happens. And I'll give you an update shortly. Alright, so I got it plugged in and it's all put back together, and so far it looks like it's active. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go into some settings and turn it on. Did I not? Oops, there it goes. Settings. It's thinking, it's acting kind of funny. Or my, oh, there it goes. Picture, everything's working. Oh, it connected to the internet. Cool. Alright. Well, I'm going to let it run for a few minutes. And if it stays running, then I fixed it. And I'll give you an update in about 20.